Greetings and welcome to the 1/6 Scale Man proudly presents another episode of The Corner, the definitive take. This is episode 3. Thank you for being here. It is your boy Layout for the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube channel. Make sure that when you're watching this, you are hitting that like button, like this right here tells you to do. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you're always up to date as to what we got going on over here on this channel. So I do want to basically thank you for being here with me this evening. Now, again, I like doing these definitive takes because it gives me a chance to kind of go over and decide what do I think is the definitive figure in my collection. It also gives you a chance to give me your opinion of what you basically think is going to be the definitive for you. Now, when we throw that word around, again, it's always going to be for what's definitive to us as collectors. You know what I mean? Again, like what might be one of my favorite figures from that particular line may not be yours. So, you know, again, and you might have reasonings for why yours, you know, is definitive for you. So definitely this is why we do that, man. So I definitely want to give all of you guys a shout out for participating. 2 successful videos we already have already. We've done Vader. We've done Emperor Palpatine. But this one, I wanted to do special. This is basically for all you Spider-Man collectors such as myself. Wanted to dedicate this more so towards Spider-Man. So definitely this is going to be the Hot Toy Spider-Man because we have so many. Now, I do want to say this because, again, there are so many versions of this figure that's already out there. So, again, we're going to stick strictly with the MCU and Sony cinematic universe. Okay, so what's going to be definitive from that particular line, more so cinematically, live action, of course, because again, like I said, we've had some greats and not so great. So we're going to definitely talk about that, and we want to actually see what's going to be definitive to you. I already think I have in mind what's going to be definitive for me, but we'll talk about that shortly. But before we do, I want to actually give a super duper shout out to the places. Of course, I do this all the time. Places where we actually get these figures from. Starting off with my man, my homie over there, Ray at Underground Figures. Now, definitely, I call him all day, every day, Ray. If you were looking for the figure of choice, head on over there. Make sure you sign up for that newsletter so you are always up to date as to when your figure's coming or a new figure is being introduced. You want to definitely be in the now. Ray always keeps you laced with the latest and greatest. On top of that, no NRD, full transparency. On top of that, he will respond to you in such an incredible manner. Ray responds to you within minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, depending on when he actually sees the email, but he gets back to you in such a timely manner. And on top of that, you get that figure in like 2 to 3 business days. That's how dope he is about it. So definitely want to give a shout out to my guy, Ray. Also, I got to give a shout out to the other Ray. It's always a tale of 2 Rays. Ray over there at Hawk Wars Toys. Again, you see his shop here, hit him up. He'll definitely take care of you because he always does. I mean, Ray is just a solid guy. Love him to death. Keeps you laced. On top of that, again, shipping and handling is always reasonable. And on top of that, you get such an incredible care package. Not only do you get the figure that you're looking for, but you get stickers, comic books. He wants to keep you laced with all sorts of material. And on top of that, he is a proud sponsor currently of Summer Madness going over there at the Figure Flex Friday Facebook group. So you want to make sure you head on over there and he'll take care of you. Also, I want to give a shout out to my bro, Watch Your Six over at Comic Relief Comic Collectibles. It's my man Jacob. Definitely he takes care of you, mainly those comics, but if you're looking for those figures, he got it. If you're looking for 1/10 scale, 1/12 scale, anything you're looking for, he got it for you. He'll definitely take care of you. So hit him up, tell him I sent you, and he'll definitely take care of you as he always does. Also, last but not least, I want to give a shout out to my man Brian Wong over there at Mod Case Mod Space. If you're looking for an incredible display, I have the mono right here, which I've done a video on. We're going to get that up here shortly. But definitely, if you're looking for an incredible display, hit him up and he'll take care of you because he's good like that. He's dope like that. He's always there when you need him. So again, we are here to basically talk about what is going to be the definitive choice for Spider-Man. Now, here's the thing. As I've always said, there's so many different choices out there, so many different ones you can actually choose from. You have your Tobey Maguire, you have your not only just basically the Tobey Maguire, but you also have the Tom Holland And on top of that, you have the Andrew Garfield. Now, again, Andrew Garfield is basically from well, pretty much you might as well say all of them are from the Sonyverse currently right now. So it is mainly from the Sony universe, but it is up for debate because, again, rights have been tossed around between Sony and then also Marvel. So they own the rights for both. Now, again, Hot Toys basically has their dibs on the actual IP. So again, you know, when you're looking for those figures, you get it strictly from Hot Toys because they're laced with it. Now, you might get knockoffs every now and then, third-party companies that give you like third-party head sculpts. But again, if you're looking for the best, you want to rock with the best, you want to get a licensed piece, you want to head on over there and definitely, you want to talk to, you want to get your figures from Hot Toys. You want to get laced. You want to actually have something that is licensed. So definitely make sure that you are doing that. Now, again, we're keeping it strictly with the cinematic live action. So again, sorry, you Miles Morales fans, we're not going to do that. We're going to do that another time because that one's going to be like probably another video. It's continuation. So this is basically part 1 of the Spider-Man universe. It's not part 2, but it's basically part 1 because we're doing this particular version. And then we're going to actually step into the VGM line. And then after that, part 3, I want to round it out with the, again, Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse. We're going to talk about those particular figures as well. Before we do that, we're going to talk about here. Now, here's the thing. We're going to start with the latest. All right. So we're going to go into a figure here that, again, recently released, or not released, but that was recently revealed. Now, this is an Artisan. So we're going to start with basically this is the Artisan Peter Parker, Tom Holland head sculpt, Artisan version with the actual hair itself. And on top of that, this particular version has the, again, it's an updated. It's like the 2.0. It's a 2.0, but with the Artisan short hair. Okay, so we definitely have that. So just wanted to kind of put that out there so you guys know. Again, with this particular piece, it is subjective for a lot of people because a lot of people probably won't actually dive into this one, considering the simple fact that, number one, it's a situation whereas right now, this particular piece, they already have the original version, just depending, or they may or may not. So that all depends on what they actually get or what they have right now. So again, what you want to do is you want to just kind of wait and see if in fact this is one that you're actually looking for, if this is one that you might actually go after, because a lot of people won't. They have the original. They might actually wait for this one. Again, but I know a lot of people put it this way, it's sold out. So evidently there was a draw for it. I didn't go for it because, again, this is not my favorite suit. I have to say that it is not my favorite suit. It is not the one that I want in my collection at all. Because, again, I wasn't really a fan of the Iron Spider suit on camera, from the cinematic universe. And, I'm not going to get something that I'm not really a fan of. I didn't really gravitate to this particular suit. So this is one I kind of strayed away from. But again, you have someone out there that will say for them, this is the definitive line. This is the one that they actually wanted. Again, this is the 2.0 version. If you have the original, I would want to say out of the two, this one and the original, this would be definitive, mainly because of the simple fact that it is a 2.0 version. It is something that, definitely, has seen some upgrades and much needed upgrades. For instance, like the magnetic pieces or the appendages on the back, you no longer have to actually pull off they have like these little compartments, these little things you can just poke it into. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You have to worry about damaging the suit. This is all magnetic. So you actually have that, and that's great. So of the two, of the original and the 2.0, I think this is better. Updated head sculpt, of course. It's a phenomenal head sculpt. It's battle damage. Again, this is from in-game. You could say it's basically partially from Infinity War, but also in-game. This is the in-game version of him when he came back. You could tell basically by the head sculpt, it's more worn, battle damage. And what I like about this is that you do basically get that instant kill with the eyes and the light up features and stuff like that. It's dope. And don't get me wrong, it's dope. It is basically a dope figure. It's an amazing figure. If you have this, or you have this coming, you pre-ordered it. Now, mind you, there was 2 SKUs for this. There was this particular version, and then there was actually a non-artisan regular version that you got. And I think they both sold out, if I'm sure. To be honest, I believe both of them actually sold out. But this is one that a lot of people were going for. Not me, but some people were. You know what I mean? A lot of people basically wanted to have this in their collection. I was just like, nope, I'm good. I'll stay away from it, but I'll let you guys get it. I'll let you guys basically enjoy it, as you should, because it's an incredible piece, and I'm pretty sure you love it. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad this is for you. I'm glad you have it. Is this definitive for me? You already know. No, it's not. It's not. It's definitely not. It's not. So we're going to go from here. I want to go to another one. Another figure that was mostly anticipated, but it was anticipated, but it was met with some mixed responses. Mixed responses from a lot of people, man. A lot of people. I'm talking about this version. This is the Tobey Maguire, Friendly Neighborhood version. Now, a lot of these that were re-released, they were actually coming from the No Way Home line, the resurgence of both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Such a phenomenal movie. I'll probably watch it again tonight because I love that movie that much. I'm a Spidey fan, always have been. But this was definitely met with like some responses here and there. You know what I mean? Again, a lot of people felt as though the head sculpt itself was a bit weak. Thin neck. They said the body was just kind of a rehash in a sense. A lot of people didn't like the joints, just the suits, and on top of that, lack of articulation when it comes to the actual head. And because again, they kind of missed the boat on this one. It was giving us more so I would want to say giving us the purrs, rotating eyes. If they would have did that, it would have probably took this over the edge. Decent figure, don't get me wrong. If to have all 3 of them in your collection, it's a beautiful thing. Now, the thing is, I'm not going to talk about the integrated suit, Tom Holland. I want to throw that out there as well, because I'm talking about newly released, whatever. And, again, I think it's more so also closely related to the Iron Spider suit that we got earlier. So I'm not really going to jump into that. But, for this particular piece right here, as far as the Tobey Maguire, definitely is a special piece. Definitely is one you want to have in your collection. Definitely, I think they killed it with this piece. However, it's not without a bit of trepidation when it comes to how they did it, the design itself. It does give you some articulation there, and it looks like a hell of a figure in your display. So you're getting, if you got this, if you have this in your collection, it is a hell of a figure. I got to say that right off the bat. It is one that you definitely wanted to have, and they killed it, especially because of the movie. It just makes so much more sense to have, and I think it's incredible, but not really definitive in my book because of the simple fact that, again, there are some things about this figure that were lackluster, and I just think that they could have did better. The head sculpt could have been better. The articulation on this could have been a bit better. It does give us that, toe. You do get toe articulation on it, but I just felt as though even like the suit, paint applications matching the gloves itself, it just, again, I talked about this before. Everybody probably heard me say Mickey Mouse glove type of syndrome. That's what it kind of gave you if you see it. Now, when you see it up close, it is a bit better. And I think a lot of this is heightened based on the photography. Now, the photography is good. Don't get me wrong. It's great. But I just think they could have actually done something better with this piece, man. But definitely one to have in your collection. Definitely one that's incredible. Again, yeah, it is what it is. It's Tobey Maguire. It's classic. Friendly Neighborhood. It's the movie that started the franchise, and good. You got to have one. You got to have him in your collection. If you don't, then you missed the boat. I have it, and I'm definitely happy about it. This picture right here looks phenomenal. I got to say that, but still not the definitive one in my display. Again, because it was met with a lot of mixed reviews, and on top of that, I just felt as though they could have did better. They could have did better. There's no excuse for what they gave us. They could have did better. I have to say that. So it is what it is. Moving on, though, I think this one, out of the No Way Home line, Spider-Man, that is. I think this was the most disappointing figure for me, literally, for so many different reasons. And we're talking about the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man. This, I just felt as though they missed the boat on this. The head sculpt was too soft. You can't really rotate the neck. You can't even look up. If you put it up too high, because the head or the neck itself is just, it slots in. It's not even a ball joint. It just slots in, and it's not really as stable. You got to be careful with this. And it's a Spider-Man, so you want a fully articulated version of this particular figure. To get what we got, I think they missed the boat on this one. They definitely did. And it doesn't even have like the split cut. You know, there's no toe articulation with this. Yes, you know, again, you want to complete the line, so you'd be stupid not to get it. But I still think it's just, they missed the boat on this. It's such a mishap with this. They just missed it for me. It was a miss the whole way through. And even the gloves on this look 10 times worse. Do you see the likeness of Andrew? Yes, you do. I see the likeness of Andrew Garfield. But they failed with the articulation. They definitely did. There's certain things you can get. And I think that, you know, people who have the 1.0 version of this, like the first version, they said that this is mainly almost the same exact replica of that particular version, you know, almost the same take, you know, just some minor upgrades where then it's like no detachable arm. Like you have some upgrades, and they did do some things that were right. But beyond that, I think they missed the boat. They definitely missed the boat on this one, man. Like even like people had to replace the eyes because the eyes weren't really right on this piece. So that they got wrong. So again, like I just think it was a miss, you know, for me. I have it, and I'm glad I have it to complete the line. But is my focus on this? No, it's not. Do I want to say that this is the definitive version for me? No, not at all. It's definitely not the definitive. Definitely not one that I want to have in my I have it in my collection. Not to say you don't want to have it in your collection, but it could have been some improvements. They could have done better with this. It could have been something that wowed us because they had every opportunity to do so. But there's one particular figure, like I said, here's the thing, and I'll say this right at the back. And I wanted to wait till we get to that figure, but they show Tom Holland a lot of grace. They do. They show him some grace. And you'll see what I mean once we get to that figure. We will. Once we get there, you'll see exactly what I mean, and we'll talk about that here in just a moment. But yeah, I think this, you know, as good as it could have been, I think it was a miss. I think they missed, and it's a sad thing. It's definitely sad because they could have done better, but they didn't. So it is what it is. Is it too late? It's never too late, and they can always come back and give us a 2.0, but I doubt that they'll do that. So is this definitive for me? Hell no. Not at all. Not at all. Before we get to like the one that I do deem the definitive version for me, I want to talk about this one because we haven't seen this one yet. Now, also, this has been met with a bit of trepidation. Shout out to Nick. If you already know, Nick out there, he Nick's Collectibles. He's been putting this up time and time again. He, you know, the dislike of the body. I think that, you know, from the head sculpt standpoint, I think they nailed it. And this one has the purrs. This one does have the purrs. It does have the rolling eyes. So even though it's met with a lot of trepidation, I still want this piece. I want it because I want to kind of complete what I would want to call a multiversal line. Because whether you know it or not, this particular suit was supposed to make it on film. It was supposed to be in No Way Home. They were going to do this as a multiversal version of it, but they scrapped the idea. Hopefully we actually get something like this in the multiverse or probably in Secret Wars. I don't know. But again, they scrapped the idea, but I want to kind of bring it back and do something completely different. So who knows? We'll see. But it's yet, you know, it's left up because, again, this is met with a lot of trepidation as well, because people are like, you know, that Venom suit doesn't look well. We didn't get this in the film. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay that we didn't. It's their own interpretation, and I'm completely fine with that. I am. I like it. I like the way it looks, and I will basically have it. I'll determine then, though, once it comes in, if I like it, if I decide that it is a contender, who knows? But it is definitely a step up, in my opinion, as far as the head sculpt from what we got with the Tobey Maguire Friendly Neighborhood version. They could have did better. I like the figure, but they could have did better. But this, again, is going to be left up to interpretation of whether or not you think this could be in the running for a contender. Who knows? Don't know. I like it. You may not. We'll actually have to see how that goes, right? Right. But, people, ladies and gentlemen, to me, to moi, when it comes to the No Way Home line, there's only one figure. There's only one figure that won me over from the time I saw it on screen. And when Hot Toys decided to release it, and they gave us an updated head sculpt, and if you have this in your collection, shout out to Hoberticus. Sorry about that, bro. But if you have this in your collection, Hoberticus is my brother. But if you have this in your collection, you're definitely excited about this piece. Listen, this right here, in my opinion, from the cinematic universe, is the definitive. And today proved me wrong and give us something completely different. This is the definitive version for me. You already know what it is. The red and blue Spidey from the end credits. This was basically right before the credits. This is at the end of the movie. This is his final form, the final suit. And this head sculpt is effing phenomenal. It is. The suit's phenomenal. It's extremely vibrant. The base is phenomenal. The articulation on this piece is phenomenal. Look at that base. Look at the suit. And when I tell you they show Tom Holland a lot of grace, I mean they show Tom Holland a lot of grace, because this suit is phenomenal. The head sculpt is phenomenal. That is Tom Holland through and through. Well proportionate. The suit is comic accurate. That base, it is Christmassy, because you know I'm a Christmas guy. This is everything to me. There was no way in hell I was passing up on this. That's how phenomenal it is to me. That's how excited I am about this piece and how much I love it. It stands out amongst the rest as something that's incredible. Such an incredible piece. I love it through and through. I'm excited about this through and through. So glad that I have it. The swappable eye pieces, the different poses, articulation. I have him posed actually with the Green Goblin, but it's the Toys era Green Goblin, because I like that better. Don't give me. And here's the thing. I might even do a definitive version on that Green Goblin as well, because I got a lot to say about that and who wins that, because very disappointed. But we're talking about this right now. I want to keep it positive. This particular figure, in my opinion, as far as the definitive line, as far as what is definitive, for me, this suit is the definitive choice. It won me over from seeing it on screen because it was unexpected, but it won me over. That sculpt, that Tom Holland sculpt, just the poses with this, it is the articulation, the suit, everything about this is freaking phenomenal. And it just wins. It just wins. It does. It just wins. This is, in my opinion, my definitive choice. And this will win me over. It will continue to win me over. It is an incredible piece to have. Listen, you already know what time it is. You definitely know what time it is. And this is phenomenal. If you don't have it, you need to get it. Copernicus, you need to get this, bro. Go on, get that, bro. You might as well go on, get that, baby boy. But yeah, this piece right here is phenomenal. My choice for definitive. My choice, and it is my definitive choice, and I'm sticking to it. And that's the bottom line, because Lael said so. Incredible piece. But here's the thing. It's not up to me. I don't want you to leave it up to me at all. Don't leave it up to me. It's up to you. What is your definitive pick? Which Spider-Man figure do you think basically sits well with you? What is going to be definitive for you when it comes to this line? My choice may not be your choice. Your choice may not be my choice. But you know what? There's no losers. We all win. That's the point. We all win. And we're all Spidey fans, right? So being that we're Spidey fans, we all win. And that's what it's about. You already know. Anyway, thank you for tuning in on this episode of The Definitive Choice, brought to you by The Corner. It's your boy, Lael. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you are always up to date as to what we got going on over here. But anyway, man, I love y'all to death, man. Anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for always stopping through. And until next time, we are out. You have a nice day, and I'll see you later. Peace.